Guys, oh, this lighting is great. Welcome back to another video of Bav Life.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we got. Oh,
That was me.
what was that? That was you.
me.
Oh, that's embarrassing. My man Dem picked up E36 M3.
Quick cop.
Yeah, just a little something light.
If it's here to stay or if it's here to go.
We don't really know yet, but we're gonna find out. There's a couple things we got to sort out, so probably gonna be showing you that today. And there's some things that we wanna fix also or address today on the car. Mainly, the brakes kind of sticking.
Yeah.
We had to figure out which side is sticking and all that. And also, the car has a very bad vibration around 40 miles an hour. I don't know if that has to do with the brake sticking or it has to do with like a suspension ball joint or like piece, loose or something like that. But we're gonna find that out today. So we're just kind of breaking the rust off,
yeah.
And just kind of getting it going now. We'll see you in the garage. Yeah, there you guys see, steering wheel's wobbling, shaking, and it's pulling to the right. So we're gonna correct that today. With what I might actually, we'll let you know when we get to the garage.
Shake it. So it's a 1997 E36 M3, Astro Blue. Got some body work that needs to be done. Interior kind of clean except that right there. 125,000 miles, pretty low. Got some rust.
Where's that 17 though?
So we jacked her up. As you can see, it's a little rusty, but tie rods are no bueno.
Yeah. I think it was that wheel. It was wobbling. So we got the 17 mil 3/8 right here. You're gonna take off the nut on the ball joint for the tie rod. Oh, there we go. Alright, so I got the 17 off. Now I'm gonna hammer the knuckle until this piece pops out. Alright, so I just hammered on this part of the spindle, knuckle, whatever you want to call it, until this broke loose. So it finally came out. Using full assemblies, so I'm not even gonna really worry about like separating the nut here. It's all like welded and like rusted on. So I'm just gonna go for the clamps on the boots. So if these have never been replaced before, they're gonna have the original clamps that BMW put on them. You could just like kind of use side cutters and peel them back like that. And then there's also one on the rack. You might have to get under the car to get to that. So right here, you guys see this clamp? You want to take side cutters, cut it off. We're gonna put hose clamps on it, so it doesn't really matter on the new boot. You can pull this all the way back, and there will reveal your inner tie rod. So as you can see, this one is shot completely. It's just there's no resistance or anything like that. This plate on this ball joint too, it's like frozen, so that's why we're replacing it. I got this inner tie rod removal tool called OEM Tools Inner Tie Rod Tool. You can find that. Alright, so this is the tool right here. So basically, essentially what this is it's a tool that clamps onto the inner tie rod and you're able to spin with a 3/8 ratchet. So you got two nuts here. I'm going to show you right now how to apply and how to use it. And hopefully these tie rods come out.
Thanks.
You could also use, I've seen people use pipe wrenches. I mean, it's going to be kind of tough to get a pipe wrench on it to twist, but I've seen people use it. I've also seen this, you can use a very skinny 32 millimeter bicycle wrench. Grab onto here and you twist it left and it comes right off. I just found this to be easier and less stressful. So I'd rather spend the money and get it. So you put this hook over the basically the notches for the wrench, and then you put this part of the tool over. I'm supposed to put it tight. Alright, so you put this over here like this, and what you want to do is, actually you want to put this down here. You want to thread these bolts, these nuts, back on the tool. Essentially what that does is, if you thread them up all the way, it clamps on to the whole inner tie rod. So you want to just thread these on all the way. Like so. And it'll clamp onto the inner tie rod. As you can see, I believe this is a 14 millimeter. So you just want to take a 14, put this under, kind of test to fit it, see if it goes. It is a 14 mil. So I'm going to take a 14 mil and a 3/8 ratchet, and I'm just going to tighten those down because you want to make sure they're as tight as possible before you go to twist it. So you just want to make sure these are tightened down. You want to tighten them down evenly just to get a good even bite. And that'll, you know, raise your chances of you getting that off on the first try. So now what you want to do is you want to take your 3/8 ratchet. You can use anything you want. You can add an extension to it, whatever you want to do. You want to put it in there, and you just want to twist your ratchet to the left to break it loose. There you go. You guys can see it just came loose, and you'll be able to just twist the whole tie rod off out of the power steering rack. Talk about those lock rings. This is definitely supposed to have a lock ring on it. This has been removed before. It's either been taken out before or has been replaced at some point in its life. So whoever did the tie rods before didn't even do them right. Let's clap. Let's clap for the biggest donkey of the day. So there's one more thing I forgot to mention. On these old tie rods, whoever installed them last didn't have there's a lock washer that's supposed to go on here. Basically, it's like a washer that goes down. When you tighten it onto the power steering rack, you hammer the tab forward so that it doesn't spin. Like, it won't come loose or just, you know, come off. This didn't have them, but his new kit does have them. So when you are installing them, just make sure you do that. I'm going to show you guys when we're putting it back on. Alright, so we're actually going to disassemble both the inner and outer off each other. So we're just going to twist it off until the inner comes out of the outer. Right here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to install the boot for the tie rod. So we got new clamps. I didn't know this kit came with like the original clamps, so we got different clamps, and we got the boot. By the way, this is literally just to protect dust, rocks, all that stuff, dirt from entering your power steering rack and getting on the tie rod. So I'm just gonna put this on like this. So you're gonna stick it on like that. And this piece comes out, and you want it to line up right with this like donut piece that's on the inner tie rod. There we go. Like that. So it's supposed to line up just like this. Stick this piece on now. So this is the hose clamp. We're just gonna put it on now just to save the trouble later. It's a pain in the ass to try to put on while the tie rod's on the car. So we're just gonna take that, open it up, and close it and clamp it down. onto the tie rod. There we go. Right there. And it won't come off. And then we'll do the other side, and then I'll show you the install. I'll put this on a little light right now for when I gotta put it back on. Okay, so the locking. All right, so I'm just gonna take this tab right here, the locking plate, and if you guys can see closely, there's a tab on this locking plate. You guys can kind of see that.
Yeah,
the
right.
tab at the top of the locking plate. What this does is it goes into, there's like a keyway in the power steering rack right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we see.
All right. So right there, the tab goes right in that keyway, prevents the tie rod from spinning. So what will happen is we're gonna thread the tie rod in with this on, and we're gonna hammer this tab back onto the tie rod so that it resists spinning or coming out of the rack. So I'm just gonna toss this on here, there, just so I don't forget. And most people usually line up the tie rods. These tie rods are actually pretty shot, so I'm not even gonna really waste my time doing that. Most people line up the tie rods to get like an approximate alignment so they can at least drive it to an alignment shop. I'm just gonna eyeball align it, and we'll go from there. Alright, so started twisting on, so as you guys can see, locking plate is in place, and I'm just gonna twist this all down until I get to the point where I get to the locking plate and make sure it's in place again, and then we can get the show on the road. So we're putting the tie rod removal tool back on to tighten it. I know it's a removal tool, but I'm using it to tighten. So what? If you got a problem, leave me in the comment section. And tighten it down. Alright, just gonna take the ratchet now, 3/8, like I said before. Put on the bottom. And we're going to twist to the right now to tighten it down. Oh, okay. Oh, that means it's tightened down. So, I'll take the tool off now. Is it bending?
A little.
Bending a little?
Yeah, it's bent.
That's good. Did I hit you? Alright, we're good. So that tab bends on one of these so the tie rod doesn't come loose. You guys can see the tab bend. Alright guys, so I'm twisting the outer tie rod on now. Make sure this collar is on if you have the Lemforder brand. It came with this. And make sure, guys, you see right here, it's marked which side it is. This is the left side, which is the driver's side. Make sure you guys get that, especially the outer part, right. And that you're not installing the right side on the left side. Last step to installing them is to put this part, the outer tie rod ball joint, inside the knuckle. So I'm gonna remove that. This has an Allen key that you put in there, and then you kind of use a wrench to kind of twist this down. I'm just gonna go at it with an impact, see what happens. Worst case scenario, I gotta put it on there, I'm gonna do it. But usually you can go with the impact method and it'll just tighten up very quickly. So let's hope that works. So you're gonna bend this a little just to get it in. And as you can see already, this is actually aligned too far on the inside, so I'm gonna loosen it up a little. Still needs a little more. And Still a little more. Guys, basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to just get like the closest alignment I can get before I actually go and start eyeball aligning it. And that looks about right. So since I put this in the knuckle right now, I'm just gonna kind of hand tighten this nut. This is the lock nut that locks your alignment in place. As you can see, this came on the inner tie rod, this big nut right here. Just gonna put that right there. And then we're gonna take this nut and put it onto the ball joint. We're gonna find out what sizes it is and hit it with my impact and see what happens. Alright, so made up the extension on there. And here we go. There we go. Tight. So if you guys have impact on, you could do that, or you can go with the wrench and the Allen key method. I just chose to go with that because it's a lot easier, less hassle. And last thing here is you want to make sure that this bolt is all the way on the rack to protect from any dust getting on there and stuff. Alright, so I got it on the inner side of the power steering, the power steering rack. Just gonna take the hose clamp that we got with the kit and lock it down here. That's it. And that's how you install tie rods on an E36. This goes for all E36s. Not too sure about the 4-cylinder E36s too much, but I know all the 6-cylinder E36s, 328s, 325s, M3s, 323s. I'm pretty sure all the tie rod assemblies like this. And after this, what we'll do is we'll end up doing like the eyeball alignment and everything, but this is just pure installation. This is how you put the tie rod on. Thank you guys for watching the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.